Hey guys, I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com, and we're at NAMM 2014 talking to Bruce Kulick. Bruce, you have a new rock and roll Relics signature model. Tell us about it.
Well, always been a big fan of simple guitars, okay? You got a piece of mahogany wood like this with a humbucker. It happens to be a Duncan Antiquity JB pickup. You know, I did have a badass on my old Kiss Revenge model that looked like this, you know, because it's nice to get the intonation right? You know, I remember when I first got it, I did have the stop bridge, but anyway, you know.
Intonatable.
Exactly, especially by the time I got it in the studio when that was important. One volume, master tone. It's just a crunch machine, you know. That guitar also did have showers on it, so we also put some showers on this, which is a little friendlier than some of the vintage tuners, you know, that are available. And that guitar that this is based upon was really, it was such a beat up instrument. It looked like it went through the war. And the guy was embarrassed to sell it to me, to be honest, a vintage store.
Was it like a 58?
57, I think. No, actually a 57. And I don't really know, because I know the headstock was broken. It was resprayed, fake decal, fake, you know, serial number on it, but it didn't matter. The wood, and there was something about it being that kind of a, you know, vintage tone that those guitars always put out that attracted me to it, to the point where Gene even rented the guitar for, you know, Psycho Circus album. He really liked the sound of that guitar. So I remember we did a lot of demos with it for Carnival of Souls, and I recorded a lot of songs on Carnival of Souls with it. And then the Revenge Tour, which was prior to that, was my introduction with Kiss with that instrument. So to have Billy in the style that Billy likes to work, if you know what I mean, you know, recreating very relic vintage instruments, he was a natural guy to say, would you make a copy of mine, you know? And now that it came out so amazing, we really want to introduce it as a model, you know? Very limited though, but the BK model. You know?
So are like the scratches and everything like exactly like on yours?
If I showed you the picture of my really beat up through the war one, this one nuclear over here, there was the crack in between here. You know, all these things. Look at the back, you see? It was really beat up, you know? And it was a fun thing to play. I never had to worry about it. In other words, I was playing a Relic instrument before they were in vogue, if you know what I mean. And now, of course, we know.
Back then, we're all bummed about it, and we wish they were brand new.
Exactly. You want to know, it had to be in mint condition, you know what I mean? But you know, the fact that it's beat up made it really like an old friend. And I gotta say, I mean, there were nicknames for it, the Frankenstein, you know, stuff like that, because it looked like it was just not really well cared for it at any time, you know.
Tell us a little bit about like the neck profile and the frets and all that.
I mean, I was always a fan of a guitar that you can really put your hand around the neck, you know, and really grab onto something. So fortunately, Billy was able to really kind of capture the vibe of mine. Not too chunky like a 58 can be, but not too small like some of the modern guitars are, you know. So this one, I gotta say, it's almost like a friendly 59, you know, and having the medium jumbo frets on, it's really perfect, because too big, you don't really need it, and small like a vintage guitar, not that friendly for all the bending. So it's got the right fret wire and the neck shape rather.
Okay, cool. Now you mentioned Billy. For those who don't know who that is, he's the man behind rock and roll relic guitars, Billy Rose. So do you want to demonstrate a few different tones out of it?
Let me just mention how I met Billy, really. There's a good buddy of mine who I've known for many years now from just guitar deals, this guy Wes Bentley, who works for Rebel Guitars, okay? And he's just an online shop, okay? Which, by the way, nowadays, you don't need a physical presence to really sell, especially if you know how to brand yourself. And he's always been the boutique guy, you know, boutique guitars. But we've always done million deals, and last NAMM is when he said, you gotta meet the guy, you know, this guy Billy over at Rock and Roll Relics. And then when I got there and I saw what he did, you know, both Wes and I like, you know what he should do, you know, and here we are a year later actually showing the guitar. Now the one that's going to be sold will have some changes to it, because this is a real, like, complete prototype copy of my real one, and we want to do the right thing and not have an exact copy of something, if you understand what I'm saying. So
it will be like a Relic, but not in the exact same patterns.
Well, no, the Relic will be the same, but the body shape will change so that...
that's right. He did mention that it's a prototype, that it's going to change a little bit, but...
So in the same way that other people offer Les Paul style guitars, but within the realm of what's legal, we're going to be doing that for this model, of course, you know. So all I know is it's just the. You know, for me, it's great for Kiss or AC/DC. It doesn't matter, you know. You know. Or, you know. I think I did Love It Loud live with it, you know. You go to like the solo. You know, it's funny that once we got closer to getting this done, I went on YouTube and I looked for an entire Kiss Revenge tour, you know, video, because they're out there, right? It was an hour and a half or whatever, and I watched the entire thing, took notes. Okay, there I'm playing my ESP, bolt on. Oh, there's my Explorer copy, ESP. Oh, there's this one, you know. And then it was like the Junior showed up 4 times. 4 times, that guitar.
I was gonna say, since you joined Kiss back in the 80s, and well, it was the 80s,
yeah.
that I think all the pictures I remember seeing you in, you had more pointy guitars because it was the 80s, and but you were using this on the albums and on some songs live.
Yeah, I mean, what happened was, I mean, look, I'm a guitar nut, all right? That's why I read your magazine. I'm just, every day is something about a guitar. Guitar porn, you know? I married a woman that loves guitars too, thank God, you know? But in the beginning of Kiss, it was like Charvels were the hot thing. There I was on stage with Charvels. Then you go from Charvels into, all right, this company ESP that a couple of my friends started working for was trying to compete. Next thing you know, I'm on the cover of their 86 price guide. You know, 86. You think about how long ago that is, you know. Them making me guitars. Then I'm trying some BC Riches. I mean, I got to be fair to my Kiss history. And then being a guitar nut, okay? Every tour I had to have 5 or 6 guitars. So that meant I'd play an ESP, a Gibson, a BC Rich, or whatever I wanted to, you know, after I retired the Charvels. Years later, I remember I broke a collarbone, okay? I got hit by a car in LA. And next thing I know, I needed lighter guitars. This thing doesn't even weigh, I think this is about 7.5 pounds, okay? That's a good weight. And you know how many guitars are over 8 pounds, right? So I found that, you know, the original of this, lightweight, a modern Carina, right? It was light, you know what I mean? And then it was easy to find bolt-on guitars that would be the right weight and all. But that's when I discovered how amazing. It was almost really a horrible thing to see someone take a vintage Gibson and put a humbucker on it that had a P90. But now when someone's handing me this thing that looked like it went through the war, and that's the way it was. Hence the look of the dog ears. And now it's not there, you know, but you get what I mean? So by the time I got that guitar, it became very important on the Revenge tour. And then I'm doing demos with Gene for Carnival of Souls. So most of those were recorded with that one guitar. And then there I am in the studio doing Carnival of Souls. And there's that guitar. You see what I mean? I featured it on my solo releases, Audio Dog and Transformer and BK3. So it's been a part of my guitar arsenal for years now, you know. And really getting something that some people, if they want a little taste of what I believe in with guitars, and a real recreation, Relic, specifically like that beat up thing, the BK model is the way to go.
Do you know when they're going to be available for sale?
Today I know was the first day someone could go to Wes's Rebel Guitars, you know, to order it, right? And he already got some orders, which is wonderful, because the fans knew that I was going to show it here at NAMM. I literally had the prototype last Tuesday. Wednesday did a photo shoot, okay? Over the weekend we're doing like some sort of press so that we could show it off, you know what I mean? And then here we are at NAMM. So
cool.
I would imagine, you know, and that's up to Billy. He's a small boutique builder. I'm hoping he can do batches of 10, you know, at a time, so that people by the summertime they'd have their guitar in their hand, you know.
How much are they going for?
I think the way Wes priced it was like just under $2,800, which for a handmade boutique guitar is a great price, you know.
All right, cool. Now, before we say goodbye, do you want to just take us out and we'll tell people the website to go to check them out online?
You can't buy them from Rebel Guitars. I mean, you can buy them from Rock and Roll Relics. You can buy them from rebelguitars.com. It's rebels-guitars, rebel-guitars.com. The info is on the literature and everything.
Cool. Rebel-guitars.com. Thank you, Bruce. I'm going to mention real quick before that we're hearing you through a new Friedman Jerry Cantrell signature head. So thanks again, man. Take it away.